of another day, another time, another period in knowledge acquisition. Knowledge is power, health is wealth. Today I shall be taking you on the journey for the normal value quest. Why do we really look out for normal value? So I titled topic, why normal value quest? It is very essential for us to look a little bit backward and find out and look at what could have been responsible for the search, the quest for normal value when people are sick. I'm sure we will all agree that there are certain factors that are probably in low supply or probably out of range, or even foreign bodies in the body, that it could even elicit some immunological response, that the values of those factors will now be high, like we find in most hematological studies. But how do you now know the normal? That is one of the reasons why we have normal value. So it is usually called the reference range. That word reference means it is now using your health, referencing it with another person's health. But it's not going to be one person, it's going to be a pool, because you can just be subjective in choosing that this person is healthy, one person. No. But when you look at a pool of very healthy people, at times as large as 120 normal looking healthy people pulled together to now take their values, you will now find that it ranges. It is not the same, but the probability of somebody being normal and having certain level is now covered by that Gaussian distribution plateau that is formed. It becomes a normal value range. Anything outside that is now considered abnormal, and that is what you are now treated for. So I would expatiate more as we go on to the slide section, so that we can understand why the quest for normal value is essential, and why that has also helped the development of medicine generally. The laboratory is the pivot, because without the laboratory investigations, you will not be able to get this normal value or derangement from normal value. So if you like what you listen to, press the like button, subscribe, and be sure that yes, more quality production will come your way. Why normal value quest? Outline: objective, introduction, brief history, case studies and normal values, importance of normal value, and conclusion. Objective: to expose the importance of laboratory tests and results in the diagnosis of patient ailment and treatment, and also the pivotal role of the laboratory in the advancement of orthodox medicine in particular. Introduction: lab values are used to determine a patient's overall health and well-being. What is considered a value is usually the measurable intrinsic variables. There are many factors that can affect a patient's result and lab values, but some of the most common factors are by gender. You find that males and females, they have different values. Age is also, children have different value from adult race, the medicine taken, and the presence of any other underlying condition will surely affect the values. The quest for normal values of a laboratory test is for interpreting the laboratory result for correct diagnosis of the ailment or condition that is being investigated. Without knowing the normal value of all tests, the effort put into doing the test are useless or meaningless. It is the normal value or reference ranges that could be interchanged. You can interchange it to mean the same thing that aids diagnosis. When we look at this is the earlier method that were used to really know whether a person is fit to donate. So it's in a way measuring those who are normal to donate. There is also this method that was used those days, but it's not as clear as this. The blood comes from the finger pricking, and you compare the blood. If it's on 8, it's like 8 milligram, about 56 percent. As you move it to a place where the color matches very well, let's say at 12, that is about 84%, 12.6 normal value. Brief history. Medical diagnostic plays a significant role in clinical decision. The first medical laboratory test to be developed was urine analysis, though there are other tests those days, especially when the microscope was discovered. But majority of those days tests were quantitative because the colorimetry measurements, light separation had not been well exposed, especially as done by Albert Einstein. Urine analysis has been long used as a routine laboratory test and was improved into the development of sampling and test methods. As the field of hematology progressed with the invention of the microscope, blood test semen analysis were developed. Demand for tests based on clinical chemistry have existed since the 17th century, and research using patients' blood began in the 18th century. In the 20th century, with the development of the spectrophotometer, even these days we have ISE, chemical analysis were performed for diagnostic purposes. We have advanced to more accurate and precise estimations using equipment like the ion selective electrodes. Case 1. A young married lady in the 70s got pregnant and wanted to start antenatal. Part of the requirement is blood donation by relative or husband of the future mother in order to prevent shortage of blood during emergencies and surgery that may not even be her own surgery or emergency. The basic method adopted was that which was termed the copper sulfate method. You are either fit to donate or not. That was the measurement. That was how to know the donor normal value. This method is not interested in the value of iron deficiency or other complete blood. And this is the hematological value test. You can see that the male is different from the female, and you now see that it's a situation where the colorimeter has now come into use, and the the spectrometer as well. So the hematocrit centrifuge was also used for pack cell volume. Case 2 is where you talk of complete metabolic panel. An adult obese patient in his late 50s with a BMI that is indicative of being overweight for his height has a blood pressure of 170/100, was admitted, and a comprehensive metabolic test was recommended to confirm metabolic syndrome. The CMP contains the following sets: glucose test, calcium, sodium, potassium, all electrolytes, which help control the amount of water and acid-base balances. This is also a more comprehensive one that involves the chemistries, the hematology, the endocrinology, and even urine analysis, as well as CSF analysis. The results are there too. Importance of normal values. The importance of reference intervals is underscored by U.S. regulation that approve the measurement of reference interval normal value as appropriate for the laboratory patient's population. They also approve that the individual laboratory could set up their own assay, are required to establish their own reference interval for their assay. Regulations also specify that reference interval be included in laboratory report or made available upon request to the individual who had done the test. They are also important for following reasons, that is, normal values. For diagnosis, for monitoring the effect of drugs, how the patient has been improving after being given drugs, screening tests for congenital diseases, as well as research purposes. When you use it for research, you must have done the measurement very well, accurately, precisely, and it's useful. In conclusion, our sense of normal values of laboratory results should not be cloud the effort of various medical laboratories at getting reproducible results that aid correct diagnosis. Good results are also reference material for research purposes that expand the frontier of medical science and medicine. Medicine can't claim progress empirically
without factoring the reference values of some parameters. Please, you can watch more videos on my channel and also click the subscription button or